I want to welcome you to Dreamchasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? This is a great day, and I'm so very excited to be here. I know you have heard that for many years, but it is the truth. Every single time I come on here, I have an amazing guest on here talking about whatever it is that they're talking about. Because why? They're going after their dreams, their goals, their aspirations. They are not letting any grass grow under their feet. Hello. And that's exactly what we want to encourage you to do today. We have an author today. I want to welcome him to the show. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Mr. Marshall Grayson. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So tell us about yourself.
Ooh.
Is that a trick question?
No, it's hard to begin. Okay, I'll do it this way.
Okay.
At the age of 13, I had open heart surgery. I had a near-death experience. And because of that, this book was born.
Wow. A lot of people talk about near-death experiences. I don't mean to get off of the subject, or maybe I'm not off the subject. Maybe I'm right on the subject. What was your near-death experience about? What was that like for you?
I was going to have open heart surgery, and I was scheduled for a 9 o'clock surgery, 9 o'clock at night surgery. So about 7:30, they came in and gave me the pre-surgery anesthesia. Then about 8:15, the doctor came in and told me they had run out of my type blood, have to be rescheduled for the next day. So at 6:30 in the morning, they came in and gave me my pre-surgery anesthesia. Again, I haven't come back from one trip and they're sending me out on another. So I watched my body being journeyed into the operating room. And that freaked me out because I was only 13. So I got back in my body, and before I knew it, they were putting on the mask for the general anesthesia, and I watched it from the upper corner of the room. So that's when the anesthesiologist, they had already started the process, the anesthesiologist told the operating surgeon, "We've lost him." Now, mind you, I was in the upper corner of the room and I could hear and see all of this taking place. It was quite beautiful for me because there was a place in me that said, all of this is necessary. So for me, it was quite a life-changing experience. I was scheduled for 3 weeks of intensive care because they had lost me for so long a time. But I was out in 3 days.
Wow.
And so the surgeon came to my room and his words were, I had to come see our miracle child.
My goodness. My goodness. You don't know what you just did for me. Because I lost my mom last month on the 21st. And I swear to you, for whatever the reason, I knew she wasn't in that body. And I heard her like call on me a few days before she passed away. I was at home and I felt her say my name and push me. And literally I stumbled back like as if somebody pushed me. Then I looked around like what was that, And I swear to you, I called the people and I rushed over to her side. That was the last night that she could hold my hand. Literally like squeezed my hand just a little bit. The next day she couldn't even do that.
Oh my goodness.
Couldn't even do that. And for me to know that you were out of your body watching, it gives me hope, and it also gives me a certainty that my mom was not in there. My mom is no longer there. Like, she's okay. She's not there. She's okay. She's fine. She's living beyond her body,
Yes.
which is what I hope. And you coming on here telling me this gave me a little bit of peace.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, definitely. So is that your purpose, to give people a little bit of peace and understanding of what happened to you is not the end?
Yes, it's what I picked up on because as I was sitting in the upper corner of the room, I turned. There was there was a feeling of turning in me, and as I turned, I melded with light.
Mm,
And as I melded with light, that's the last time my consciousness was playing with me. When I came out of the light, I was investigating the body.
mm,
I was going through the body to see what was there, and there was a piece of me that knew what everything was. It knew what I had gone through. It knew what I was going through at the time. It checked out the tube in my side that was pumping out excess blood from the surgery. Checked out the clamps that were on the scar where they did the actual cutting.
mm-hmm,
It checked out the sutures in the groin where they had sent the locator tube up to find
mm,
a hole in the heart. So yes, but there was complete peace with all of this.
mm-hmm,
I had a little disagreement with the tube in my mouth because it was no longer necessary. And so all of who I knew myself to be was on the tip of my tongue, pushing that tube out.
mm.
So that's why they said, and the nurse came over to me and put it back in and put a little piece of tape over it so that I couldn't push it out again. And it took me a little while, but I got it out. And that's when she told me, if you're that strong, you can go back to your room. And she sent me out. I woke up in my room singing, My Dog Has Fleas.
Oh,
My dog has fleas. Then I had to use the bathroom. My mother was there with me. And she said, Well, what's going on? I said, Well, I got to use the bathroom. So she called a nurse. Nurse came in. We did that little process. And when I came out, I said, My horse has fleas. My horse has fleas. And she said, Wait a minute. You were just singing about your dog having fleas. I said, Yes, my horse and dog has fleas. And that became my song.
to me, this is amazing. It's an amazing story. Why write it though? I mean, I understand that you wanted to give a little piece to people, but why write this book? What was the ultimate decision that turned you into saying, I have to get this on paper. I have to publish this. This is something that has to be done.
I went through a process in my life of beginning to understand that I was, this book is the second book I've written. The first book was just a flow of consciousness type of book where I just wrote whatever came on my mind. Before that, I was writing songs, and all of the songs were directed towards seeing life in a new perspective, seeing life from a positive point of view, not as being um, a direction to people, but as being an alternative way to perceive the life they're living. So my message in this book and the book before and all the songs I wrote was all about opening up to the more positive place in life. And it was like there was be no rest for me until I did this.
Wow.
So I continued to work at it until I felt like I had to do it.
Wow. Wow. So your book is called It Is This I Am, The Inner Mentor. Where did you get the title from? I mean, how did you get that title?
I did a lot of study in comparative religions. I did a lot of study in Christianity and Kabbalicism. I studied a lot of, and there always seemed to be this, if you get away from the ceremonies and get down to what is the religion actually teaching, it always comes back to getting in touch with the God within. And that's what this character in the book is. The God within is speaking to the physical being that I am.
Wow. Wow.
So yes, it was what I was meant to do.
Wow. I have one more question, and all of this and everything that has happened to you and going through this, it's been a minute since this has happened. What has changed about you, and what do you do now that you would not have done if you didn't have to go through this in the past?
Good question. And here's a good answer. I don't know what I would have done had this not happened to me. For the simple reason that I believe it happened to me for a reason. The reason being that what I wrote needed to be said. It wasn't that I was looking for glory or even cash or any of that. I had a need to project this out into the world. And because of that projection, I've had very, very real, in depth conversations with people on a regular basis. And it's as if I'm fulfilling a mission that life prepared for me.
Hmm.
Had I not been able to do this, I don't know, life wouldn't have the same meaning that it has now.
Yeah.
There's a place in me that's peaceful with all that's going on, with all the chaos surrounding what we know as life. There's a place in me that's peaceful, calm, loving, and joyous. I couldn't ask for any better reward than that.
I hear you so loud and clear, so loud and clear. Um, it's a wonderful thing to know that you did this and that you wrote it down and that this is a book that can change people's lives. What do you ultimately tell someone when they find out about all of this? What would be the advice that you would give that person?
The advice has to do with being able to look inside yourself, finding that place within you that is the awareness of life. It's usually done in quiet. It's usually done when the thoughts are at a minimal level of interference. It's usually done when you're in yoga, when you're in meditation, when you're staring at the flickering candle, all these kinds of ways of quieting out the noise from the outside and some of that noise that we project onto other people. But it has to be done when that quiet is established. And once that quiet is established, there's a sense of peace that comes about you. Once that sense of peace comes about you, it becomes very easy for you to perceive the world as unified.
Hmm.
That's the essence of all of this, and it is this I am, is that the world, the planets, the universe, on the atomic level of life, there's no separation between my skin and the air that surrounds it.
Hmm.
So that means everything that's within the touch of air is a part of my skin. It means I'm a part of everything there is. When I get to where I say my life, I'm speaking about everything I see, hear, do, say, feel, and that this becomes the seat of joy for my awareness. I've experienced a place that is called bliss, where just being alive becomes a joy. And if if you take the time to get to know your true self, you'll end up in that place as well. And you'll find that when you're there, all things are connected. All things are connected.
Wow. Wow. Well, I want to thank you so much, Marshall, for being on the show. Thank you so much for doing what you have done. You've written and you've encouraged me to understand that beyond death, yes, I kind of knew it, that we do go on, but when you lose someone so close, or when you are that person that is almost lost, it is so reassuring to know that that is a truth. And I want to thank you so much for doing that. You guys can go ahead and check out his book on Amazon, and that is It Is This I Am, The Inner Mentor. by Marshall Grayson. And I want to thank you so much for being here and for doing what you do and for encouraging people to talk about their journeys. And this was definitely a journey, definitely a journey, something you'll never forget.
Oh, can't.
No, no, no. Are you afraid of death now?
No, it's a it's a bus stop. It's a
Mm,
bus stop. We're eternal beings, and that which we recognize as death is no more than a bus stop. We have a universe of who we are to explore. So
mm.
death is a bus stop.
Wow. Well, we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. We'll have that information in the description box below so it'll be easy for you guys to find this book. And until next time, guys, be blessed.
Don't forget to follow us on YouTube and Instagram. Thank you for watching.
I dare to be different.